You've tracked calories before, multiple times, actually. You already know how to do it. So why hasn't it changed the way you're eating when you're not tracking calories? Our brains like easy answers. They like to be able to put food into one of two categories: good food or bad food. Most diets recognize this and do a really good job of creating rules for how you should be eating in order to be successful on the diet. Calorie tracking is a better version of this. Calorie tracking does provide you with a lot more knowledge and education around what you're eating, but it can cause the same root problems because it appeals to your brain's ability to categorize food and to be a cognitive miser. But Saunders, if I know how many calories I'm eating, I'm going to be successful at eating in a calorie deficit or a calorie surplus. Not necessarily. Even registered dietitians are often underestimating or overestimating their calories by 20%. So if calorie tracking isn't accurate, what is good about it? What is useful about calorie tracking? Education, you learn what's actually in your food. You're likely to be engaging in more structured eating habits. You're probably going to be more intentional about the things you're choosing to eat. And accountability, when you see at the end of the day how many calories you've eaten, it's going to create a level of accountability that you probably haven't had before. All four of those things are in their own right very useful. The problem with calorie tracking is that it is putting a Band-Aid on top of an infection. Calorie tracking will not lead to the skill development that is necessary to make actual behavior change. They've done a lot of research on what are the biggest predictors of weight regain, because everyone knows it's easy to lose weight, it's hard to not regain it. And the three biggest predictors are not engaging in all or nothing thinking around food, not emotionally eating, and feeling in control of your nutrition. Tracking calories can help with those things, but it can also hurt those things, because when you're tracking calories, you can have more of an all or nothing relationship with food. You can see food as, does it fit into my macros? Does it fit into my calories? Yes, it does. I'm going to eat it. No, it doesn't. I'm going to avoid it. It can lead to more emotional eating because you'll save your calories for an emotional eating spell, or when you do eat emotionally, you won't track the calories at all. And it can make you feel less in control of your nutrition because your nutrition is being policed by an outside force, by an app telling you what you should be eating, what you can eat. And it can actually lead to you making less autonomous food decisions because you're outsourcing everything to an app. Most of my clients at some point in working with me do track their calories, but it is very important to recognize what is underneath. I want to give you two examples of people who are both using calorie tracking as part of their nutritional plan, and I'm going to show you where a lot of the mistakes that people make might crop up. And I want you to decide which of these two people you identify with the most. Both these people are working towards losing 25 pounds, and both of them are using calorie tracking as a way to help them do that. But the percentage breakdowns of how they're making food decisions day to day is very, very different. So person A, 40% of their eating decisions just comes down to their regular eating structure. The eating behaviors and nutritional choices they engage with when they are not trying to lose 25 pounds, that is 40% of their food decisions. 20% is hunger, depending on how hungry they are on a given day. 20% is on preference, what do they actually want to eat? And then 20% of it is calorie tracking. They are using calorie tracking as a way to make sure they're staying on target and they're matching their nutrition with their needs while still heavily relying on their regular eating structure, on their preference, and on their hunger. Now, person B, very different story. 85% of their food decisions are made by calorie tracking. What does my app say that I can eat today? I have been person B. I have been the guy who's opening their calorie tracker 100 times throughout the day to see if they can afford to have the donut, to see how low can they keep their calories. The other 15% of their eating choices are the F it factor. Those are the moments where they look at the app and they just go, F it. I'm eating whatever the hell I want. Once both people have lost 25 pounds, what's going to happen? Person A is going to have to find a way to replace 20% of their nutritional choices, but luckily, regular eating, preference, and hunger are already going to be core components helping them decide what they should be eating. Person B is now left solely with the F it factor. They have removed the only guide rails and the only policing force that was keeping them on track to reach their goal. I have seen so many clients come to me and say, Saunders, I lost this weight tracking calories, I stopped tracking calories, and now I'm regaining it and I don't know what to do. I just need to start tracking calories again, right? Wrong. What you need to do is build nutritional skills to help you actually track the calories. Now, if you're wondering, Saunders, how do I build nutritional skills? And what does that even mean? Good news, I've got a video that I'm gonna link in the description of how to build skills to reach your goals and what the exact framework I use with my clients to create that skill building roadmap. So if you haven't seen that yet, go check it out. If you've been tracking calories for a long time and you saw success in the beginning, but it's getting harder and harder to stick with your calorie goals and with the calorie tracking itself, I urge you to focus on building nutritional skills and behaviors that you would like to be doing, not just until you hit your weight loss goal, but for the rest of your life. It might sound scary to step away from the guardrails, the thing that's been keeping you safe, the thing that's been working for you, but in the long term, you are going to be so much more successful when calorie tracking is one tool in your nutritional toolkit, not the only tool in your nutritional toolkit. When you stop calorie tracking, you're probably going to struggle with food at first. When you're a child and you're learning to ride a bicycle, when you first take the training wheels off, things are worse. You crash the bike much more frequently. However, you have to take the training wheels off in order to learn how to ride the bike. So yes, when you move away from calorie tracking or when you take a break from calorie tracking, you are likely to crash the bike a little bit, but it is worth it in the long term to learn how to ride it. And if you want help learning to ride the bike, to avoid those missteps, to step away from calorie tracking without stepping away from your goals, that is exactly what I help my clients do. And I'm also going to leave a link below the video to book a free call with me to discuss your goals, your obstacles, and how you can step away from calorie tracking while still pursuing the things that you want to pursue.